On December 21, 1988, a passenger jet exploded high above a quiet town in Scotland. What investigators uncovered was not an accident, but an act of terror. This single event changed airport security forever. Pan Am Flight 103 was a scheduled transatlantic passenger flight operated by Pan American World Airways from Frankfurt to Detroit via London and New York. And on 21st December 1988, it became the target of one of the deadliest terrorist attacks in aviation history, when a bomb exploded on board over the small Scottish town of Lockerbie, killing all 259 people on the aircraft and 11 people on the ground, for a total of 270 victims. And its legacy has profoundly shaped aviation security, international law, and the global fight against terrorism. The aircraft was a Boeing 747-121 named Clipper Maid of the Seas, which departed London Heathrow Airport bound for New York's JFK Airport after arriving from Frankfurt, carrying 243 passengers and 16 crew members. The flight appeared completely routine, and there was nothing unusual reported by the crew or air traffic controllers during departure or the initial phase of flight. About 38 minutes after takeoff, while cruising at approximately 31,000 feet, an explosion occurred in the forward cargo hold, caused by a small but powerful bomb hidden inside a radio cassette player packed into a suitcase. The blast ripped through the fuselage, causing catastrophic structural failure, and the aircraft broke apart in mid-air within seconds. Large sections of the plane, passengers, luggage, and debris fell across a wide area of southern Scotland, with the heaviest wreckage landing in and around Lockerbie, where burning fuel destroyed several houses and killed 11 residents as they slept. The suddenness and violence of the disaster shocked the world, especially because it occurred just days before Christmas, and the images of wreckage scattered across a quiet town made the tragedy deeply personal and unforgettable. Initial confusion surrounded the cause of the crash, but investigators quickly ruled out mechanical failure and focused on sabotage. A massive international investigation was launched, involving Scottish police, British intelligence, the FBI, and agencies from many other countries, making it one of the largest and most complex criminal investigations ever conducted. Investigators painstakingly collected and reconstructed thousands of pieces of wreckage from fields, forests, and towns, eventually reassembling much of the aircraft to understand exactly how it was destroyed. Forensic analysis identified traces of explosives, specifically Semtex, and investigators determined that the bomb had been concealed inside a Toshiba radio cassette player, which had been packed into a suitcase placed in the cargo hold. A crucial breakthrough came from tiny fragments of clothing wrapped around the bomb, which were traced to a small shop in Malta, where the items had been purchased. This evidence, combined with intelligence reports and travel records, led investigators to focus on Libya, and in particular on two Libyan intelligence officers, Abdelbasset al-Megrahi and Lamin Khalifa Fima. The motive for the attack was believed to be retaliation against the United States and its allies, especially for the 1986 U.S. bombing of Libya and other geopolitical conflicts involving Libya at the time. In 1991, the U.S. and the U.K. formally charged the two Libyan suspects, but Libya refused to extradite them, leading to years of diplomatic standoff, economic sanctions, and political pressure. Eventually, a unique solution was reached. The suspects would be tried in a neutral country under Scottish law, resulting in a special court convened in the Netherlands in 2000. The trial attracted intense international attention, as it sought justice for victims from 21 different countries. In 2001, al-Megrahi was convicted of murder and sentenced to life in prison, while Fima was acquitted due to insufficient evidence. Although the conviction brought a measure of closure for some families, it also sparked controversy, as critics questioned the strength of the evidence, particularly the reliability of certain witnesses and forensic links. Over the years, doubts about the case grew, with legal experts, journalists, and even some relatives of victims arguing that the investigation may have overlooked other possible suspects or political factors. In 2009, al-Megrahi was released from prison on compassionate grounds after being diagnosed with terminal prostate cancer, a decision by the Scottish government that caused outrage, especially in the United States, where many viewed it as an injustice to the victims. Al-Megrahi returned to Libya, where he was greeted by supporters, further inflaming public anger, and he ultimately lived for several more years before dying in 2012. The Lockerbie bombing had immediate and lasting consequences for aviation security worldwide. Before Pan Am Flight 103, airport security was